This afternoon, one person is dead after reportedly falling near a Charlotte tap room. Thanks for joining us. I'm Siobhan Bryan. Medic says this happened on South Tryon Street near West Summit Avenue. That's where Wooden Robot Brewery is. The brewery announced on social media it's closing both of its tap rooms because of unforeseen circumstances. We have a crew headed there right now and will, of course, let you know more at 5 and 6. Let's head outside where things are warming up on this Tuesday, taking a live look at Uptown Charlotte from our HD Tower Cam. Again, thanks for joining us for this live stream of your news and weather. I'm Siobhan Bryan with First Alert meteorologist Rachel Coulter. So we're looking to hit almost 70 this week. I'm not complaining at all, but I do have to ask, is that normal for this time of year?
Not at all. You know, that's going to be about 10 degrees above our average high temperature. We should be making it into the upper 50s now that we're in the middle of February, but it feels much more like spring here the next couple of days. I know today, fairly seasonable. We've had lots of sunshine. It's been dry. Temperatures in the upper 50s. Really nice after what has been a cold start, and we had a cold start yesterday. We're going to have another cold start heading out the door tomorrow, and it's because we have those mostly clear conditions that'll take us through the overnight period. So temperatures will fall pretty quickly back into the 40s if you have any evening plans tonight, and then heading out the door tomorrow morning. If you notice here on your screen, you've got temperatures in the low 30s. We've actually dropped these temperatures at forecast low to 31 degrees, so just below freezing in Charlotte, mid 20s in our higher elevations, but we should rebound pretty quickly and nicely to around 60 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. Low 50s in our higher elevations. Staying dry Wednesday, likely dry most of Thursday. You'll start to see a few showers move into the area, and that's just because once we get towards the tail end of the night, I'm talking in between about 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night, could start to see some of that rainfall moving from west to east, but most of that moves through overnight and into Friday morning, and then this all moves out. So Friday evening plans looking good at this point with a stray shower chance as we head towards your Saturday. So this is what we're going to be talking about in a little bit more detail here in just a few minutes, Siobhan, the timing of the rain chances and what that means for your temperatures heading into the weekend.
Rachel, thank you. People across North Carolina have a new mental health resource right at their fingertips. It's a phone number that people across the state can call whenever you need to talk to someone about mental health struggles, substance abuse, or other issues. But it's not exactly a new resource. WBTV's Mary Calkins shares what changed about it today.
This is called the statewide peer warm line. It has been a resource in Mecklenburg County since 2020, but today it officially became a statewide service. This is video from the ribbon cutting celebration at Promise Resource Network on Hawthorne Lane in East Charlotte earlier this morning. The warm line is totally anonymous, and you can speak with a peer who has experienced similar issues to what you're facing. In 2020, Warm Line received more than 35,000 calls from all over the world, but did not have the resources to continue serving at that volume. However, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services received additional funding from the state that gives it the resources to make this service statewide. It's important to note the Warm Line does not replace the North Carolina 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, but instead works in tandem with it. Shereen Caracal is with the Promise Resource Network based in Mecklenburg County, and she runs the Warm Line. She says oftentimes people don't want to call 988 out of fear police or clinicians may become involved. She says when you call the Warm Line, you can speak with a fellow North Carolinian without that worry.
When people call, they call for so many different reasons, from I'm losing my job and I don't know what to do, I'm having a conflict at home, I'm thinking about suicide, I'm having a really bad day, I'm in a domestic violence situation, can you stay on the phone with me while I go in my house? There are so many reasons, or even I can't sleep at night, for people to call and want to talk to somebody who understands.
That number is 1-855-PEERS North Carolina. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Of course, we have that posted on our website, WBTV.com. Reporting in Charlotte, Mary Calkins, WBTV, on your side.
Mary, thank you. Also today, the debate is over. Union County officials will stop adding fluoride to the water supply. We've been following this story for weeks now. The Board of Commissioners voted last night on the measure, and things got a little heated on both sides, leading to threats of arrests. Adding fluoride has been a common practice in places around the country for years in order to prevent cavities. State health officials support keeping it in the water, but some people say it violates their personal medical freedoms. Commissioners voted 3-2 to stop putting the fluoride in the Yadkin water treatment plant, but not before at least a dozen people tried to sway their decision.
A lot of people don't have the privilege to go to the dentist, and the fluoride is important.
Let's stop putting something in the water that's meant to treat us and give people the freedom to choose. What an extraordinary idea.
We want to note again, this change only affects one treatment plant in the county, the Yadkin facility that opened in December of last year. The county still has 2 other water sources they have no control over, and those remain fluoridated. First at 4, now more than a decade after the unsolved murder of a 19-year-old, police are raising the reward for information. Peter Jordan was killed February 19, 2014 at the Landings at North Cross Apartments. Witnesses told police they saw a man jump out of a black Chevy Impala, but investigators never released a description of a person of interest. The reward for information leading to an arrest in this case is now up to $14,000. If you know anything, even if it seems insignificant, Huntersville police urge you to call Detective Hardy or North Mech Crime Stoppers. North Carolina and Catawba County officials are looking for answers after a driver hit and killed a 2-year-old boy. We first brought you this story Sunday. 2 days later, there are still many questions surrounding the case. Troopers say the toddler was hit around 7:30 Saturday night on Buffalo Shoals Road at Abernathy Williams Road in East Maiden. We have it mapped out for you here. Crews took the child to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. As of now, there are no charges filed in this case, but as WBTV's Jason Puckett explains, that could change later this week.
Yeah, a tragic loss for this community. We spoke with friends and neighbors out here and some of the family themselves who say they are mourning and remembering that young boy today. The Catawba County Sheriff's Office, though, spent the day investigating. A growing memorial marks the spot in Maiden where a 2-year-old was hit and killed Saturday night.
It's unreal. I still can't believe it. We know the family. I knew the little boy. It's hard.
According to the North Carolina Highway Patrol, a 54-year-old woman was driving down the street around 7:30 p.m. when she hit the 2-year-old boy. He was helicoptered to Atrium in Charlotte but died from his wounds.
It's awful. It's just an awful thing. I feel so sorry for everybody involved. It's just something. This is your worst nightmare for your child. Something to happen.
The young boy's aunt sent us a brief message Monday saying that he was autistic and that, quote, his dad worked at the farm across the road. He's walked that path many times with his father, also saying that they're not making any excuses, but that this was a horrific, tragic accident for their family. Now, that driver was not arrested or charged over the weekend, but the Catawba County Sheriffs say they could still happen. They're working with the DA to see if charges will happen in this case. They tell us they're investigating all the details, how the boy ended up in the road by himself, but also if other factors like lighting actually played a role in this crash. We will, of course, bring you those updates as soon as we have them. For now, they're here in Maiden. I'm Jason Puckett, WBTV, on your side.
Jason, thank you. First at 4, North Carolina Attorney General and candidate for governor Josh Stein is joining a nationwide push to get lead out of baby food. You remember almost 400 children recently got sick from these Wanabana applesauce pouches, which were contaminated with lead. Stein's office says none of the pouches were tested before they hit store shelves. 20 attorneys general are now calling on the FDA for tighter regulation. They say the baby food industry should have to test all their food products for toxic metals. And we've got some good news for Charlotte Hornets fans. Today, the team announced it's waiving ticket fees for their final 11 regular season home games. But anyone interested will have to be quick. The promotion only applies to fans who buy their tickets before midnight on Friday. It includes all 11 home games in March and April, but does not include the February 29th game against the Milwaukee Bucks. The games will feature matchups with teams like the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors. Anyone interested can find the full list of games and a link to buy tickets on our website, WBTV.com.
They came with a different plan, and boy, did it.
A chaotic celebration, crossing the finish line first and taking home the gold at Daytona 500. Charlotte native William Byron. He won the crash-filled, rain-delayed NASCAR race last night. But before celebrating, he said he didn't even know he won, asking his crew, did we win it? This is the 26-year-old first Daytona 500 win and his 11th career victory. And you'll remember that race was postponed from Sunday to Monday because of what else? Mother Nature. And in the next coming days, we could also see some rain move through our area. First Alert meteorologist Rachel Coulter joining us now. So could that system put the brakes on any outdoor plans here?
Fortunately not. It doesn't look like it. And of course, it's Tuesday. We're talking about Friday is the time frame that we're watching. So this could still shift just a little bit timing wise If anything were to be impacted, it would be the Friday morning commute. But at this point, it looks like most of the rain actually falls overnight. So late Thursday night around 11 o'clock, we'll start to see that rain move in. That'll continue through the overnight period and then into Friday morning. And then we should be mostly, if not completely, done with the rain. And I'll explain why I say mostly here in just a second. Otherwise, temperature is going to be the big story here the next couple of days. Seasonable today, above average as we continue through the rest of the week, especially into the start of next week. Take a look at your screen. 70s, actually reaching the 70s. We're going to be close by the end of the work week, but actually lifting at or above 70 degrees by the time we get towards Monday and Tuesday of next week. There's your chance of rain. And I've got a 10% chance of rain now in the forecast for Saturday. Just talking things over with meteorologist Lisa Villegas. There's going to be another little system that works overhead. Could that be enough to bring us a few clouds passing through the afternoon on Saturday and maybe a sprinkle or two? Maybe if you're going to be headed to the Charlotte FC game, it's possible. We just don't want anyone caught off guard. So 10% chance of rain in the forecast, although I just don't think it's going to amount to much. But here's the timing, at least the latest updated look at that timing of the rainfall for your Friday. This is Thursday night, 11 o'clock. You can start to see that rain fill in. Now, could we hear some rumbles of thunder? I think it's a possibility. That'll continue through the overnight period. There's 2 o'clock in the morning. But by the time we get towards 6, 7 o'clock, a lot of that rain's actually out of the area and pushing to the east. We should actually get some sunshine, and it's going to be windy out as well Thursday and into Friday as that cold front moves through. And this will bring our temperatures down a little bit as we head towards the weekend. We have dropped our temperature forecast for this weekend just a touch, but it's still going to be pretty nice out there. Right now, we've got a system off the coast and some cloud cover associated with that, a little low pressure system to our south and west, some cloud cover associated with that. We are sandwiched right in between, but it's been a beautiful day. Ultimately, temperatures topping out in those upper 50s this afternoon. We're going to stay in the 50s at least through 7 o'clock and then the upper 40s as we carry over into the late evening hours. 30s as we head out the door tomorrow morning, certainly cold enough to allow for some freezing conditions. 31 degrees are now forecast low temperature for Charlotte. Of course, we're going to be waking up colder in the mountains where you'll see temperatures bottom out in the 20s, high temperatures in low 50s there. The rest of us upper 50s to around 60 degrees. Give or take a degree or two. Forecast high temperature in Charlotte and Concord, Salisbury, Albemarle, down towards Rock Hill. You're looking at 60 degrees. 61 in Wadesboro, Rockingham, and Chesterfield. Meanwhile, about 57 degrees along the I-40 corridor. And of course, temperatures go up from here. So mid 60s on Thursday and Friday, even despite that cold front moving through. And look at your morning low temperatures. So cold tomorrow, below freezing, and then above freezing by Thursday morning, but still cold enough to warrant the coats. And then by Friday morning, this is mild. High temperatures typically this time of year topping out in the upper 50s. We're going to be waking up in the low 50s, all thanks to that cloud cover and those rain chances. 66 by the afternoon. Here's your 7-day forecast, and let's talk about the weekend. Notice that we've dropped our high temperature on Saturday from the low 60s to the upper 50s, just because, of course, we've got that cold front moving through and the potential for some passing clouds and a stray shower chance. So temperatures as you head out the door for the Charlotte FC game going to be dropping out of the low 50s and into the 40s, but we should be mostly, if not completely dry. Very low impact disturbance working overhead. And then by Sunday, lots of sunshine. High temperatures low 60s, and Siobhan, by next week, we're forecasting highs in the 70s.
We want to check back in on that breaking news. One person is dead after reportedly falling near a popular Charlotte brewery. Medics says this happened on South Tryon Street near West Summit Avenue. It's where Wooden Robot Brewery is. Now, the brewery announced on social media it's closing both of its tap rooms because of unforeseen circumstances. We have it mapped out for you here exactly where this is. Our crews just got on scene and they're gathering information. Of course, we're going to bring you a live report. And again, both of the tap rooms have now been closed. And oh, here are the live pictures here. We've been seeing people climbing up onto the roof of that structure. Again, we're trying to figure out more information as to what exactly happened. But again, our crews are now live on scene where we learned that one person has died in a reported fall at the brewery there. Again, this happened on South Tryon Street near West Summit Avenue at Wooden Robot Brewery. You see crews working there, somebody in a high-vis vest and a hard hat. We're going to learn more about what exactly is happening here and bring you those updates as soon as we get them on WBTV.com and on social media, and of course bring you a live report starting at Live at 5. Again, that's at Wooden Robot Brewery on South Tryon at West Summit, where we've learned that one person has died and both tap rooms are now closed. But again, we want to thank you for joining us for this live stream for your news and weather first at 4. Again, be sure to join us live at 5 for both more on that breaking news and more updates as we get on all of the news in your area coming up at the top of the hour. Thanks for joining us.